Alright guys, so watch this video for Tuesday, June 26th. This is a perfect example why I love being a day trader. The SPY, pretty ugly candle today. The Dow ended up being down, 328, and had a really nice day. And I think a lot of our members had a really nice day. So starting every day in cash, you really don't have to worry about a portfolio gapping down in the morning because you're all cash. So anyway, if you know what to look for on an intraday basis, there is money to be made on a regular basis. Let me show you what we're watching for tomorrow. RENN is a little obscure, but you had this candle on Friday and kind of an inside candle today. It actually had massive volume on Friday, so I do want to watch that one for a potential long. XBIO. This is just almost, I don't know any other word to describe it. It's just stupid what some of these candles are doing. But back here, a couple sessions ago, the range was from 239 to 736. You can see the very next day, gaps down and looks like that. And all of a sudden, boom, right back up. Today's range, 274 to 645. I got to share, crud. Here it is, I found it. I wanted to share this intraday. This is about where it opened. It just went straight sideways, nothing going on. And JS, one of our members, types out XBIO over 3, worth watching in the chat room. And I did not get this, but look at the move. What a great idea. Look at that move through 3. It ended up, well, let me get this out of the way now. It ended up topping out at 645. So, I mean, it just goes to show the teamwork in there. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten it, of course, but I can't believe how strong this actually closed. So, I'm got to watch it tomorrow, so it's on the chart, okay? ABIL. Huge day, right? It's way extended, way above the moving averages. So will it give us a trade tomorrow? Probably not. But on an intraday basis, let me slide this one over. Show you a couple ideas put forth in the room today. It topped out back here slightly over 750, then came up and hit 750, kind of a lower high, and was doing this. And I was on the mic and I said, hey, this one anytime today, back through 750. You've got the high of day above just as as another catalyst. So anyway, you see what happens when it gets through 750. When we got close to 750, one if not more members kind of put the reminder, hey, whoops, hey, this one's getting close to that 750 trigger. And you can see from there through 750, it ended up going nicely through 1050. This arrow was Wayne's late day call over $9.10. You can't, the arrow's a little bit blocking it, but it popped up to 910 right here, basically flagging right below the early highs, holding up well, nearing the close. So that's a pretty good candidate to watch for a late day rally. Wayne saw it and put out the over 910 idea, which means 911, which triggered right there. And these are 5-minute candles I'm showing you. So from 911, in 10 minutes, it went up to 1060 something, I think. I don't know. What a great late day call by Wayne. And again, keep in mind, this thing's extended, so I doubt I'll get a trade in it tomorrow, but it's also like the strongest stock on the planet, so maybe we will, right? I only take trades if it gives me an A-plus setup, low risk, and clearly defined stop and all that. So if you haven't seen our free webinars, there'll be a link below this video. Check out our free webinars. We teach you a little bit about what we look for to enter stocks in some of those webinars, particularly the inflection points 1 and 2 webinars as far as how we stock entries. HOG. Pretty beaten up here, getting hit on the tariffs, I guess, and nice support at 40 back here. It kind of peaked below it here. If it gets down to 40 tomorrow, I'll look for a flush below 40 and a reversal back up because it's just ahead of itself to get down to support. So we'll keep that on watch. That's HOG Harley Davidson. DBX was on bounce watch today, just goes back on bounce watch tomorrow. It's kind of retesting. The most recent high right here before it broke out was just below 32. So a 32 flush might be worth watching for a reversal tomorrow, but just goes back on bounce watch. Same with HUYA. These stocks had huge runs, and now they're like 5 days lower. So HUYA, I can't talk. HUYA also goes on bounce watch, as does CBLK. Again, huge run, almost a complete retracement. But if there's any kind of bounce in the market, these are all good candidates for a nice bounce, and hopefully one or more of them will give us a tight, low-risk entry setup. LIFE, just 3 days lower on declining volume after this nice breakout attempt. Kind of a quiet stock, but we'll see if it gives us a setup. VSTM on bounce watch. 4 days lower, a little bit of a bottoming tail, kind of back down to the bottom of the range after this gap up. So no trades in it today, but worth watching tomorrow. CLBS, huge run and then a huge gap up, and now we've filled the gap, hit the 8-day. That one goes on long watch for tomorrow. Again, preferably with a decent market. SLNO had the gap up on Friday, sold off, gap down today, but a little bit of a bottoming tail. Want to watch this one tomorrow for a potential long. Again, remember, I may not trade any of these, may trade one or two. It all depends. We have no idea how they're going to set up, and it's just another example of why I like being a day trader. I don't really have to worry about MACD crossovers. I don't have to worry about, well, what if it gaps down tomorrow, right? Because I'm in cash. So it's fun logging in every day and then looking for the setups, taking some trades. Again, we talk about our inflection point webinars. We try to take entries that should work right away, so we don't have to worry about, oh no, what do I do if it goes against me, right? The entry is really, really way more important than most day traders will teach you. So I kind of consider myself a sniper, just sitting there waiting for the right opportunity to get long. And one mindset I could try to share with you is to not always feel like you got to be in something, okay? I logged in this morning, not even anxious to trade at all, and that should be your attitude. And one other thing I'll say, because I said it in chat today, and I got some nice responses from it, so I'll say this real quick, and then I'm going to finish this list. Always, you need to monitor the market, but more importantly, monitor yourself. So if you ever feel yourself, and if you've been trading any length of time, you'll know what I mean by this. If you ever feel yourself getting close to sliding into that abyss where you're going to start averaging down, or you feel desperate, like, oh man, I made a bad trade, I got to get that money back right now, always monitor yourself. And if you catch yourself feeling that way, put on the brakes, all right? There's plenty of trade opportunities throughout the day. When you feel yourself trying to force a trade, let that trigger another mechanism in you to, hopefully you'll hear my annoying voice in your head and say, you know what, I need to slow down and just wait for the A+ setups, all right? So monitor yourself as you're trading. That is a very underrated tool that every trader should have, self-monitoring. All right, there's my little mini lecture for this video. So TPIV came back down and then found support today, and you kind of have a 2-day high right around 11. So we'll see. This one has had a huge move. The pullback was on lower volume, and it found support today in an ugly tape. So that one's kind of interesting. Over 11, or maybe even some other intraday low risk setup. Couple more. GEVO. This one found support today. It looked like this coming in today, and we had it on Bounce Watch. And I'll slide this over to show you my call in GEVO today. Took a screenshot of it. There's the actual call in chat. 877 trigger ID with an 850 stop. The arrow shows you about where that is. There's the trigger. There's the stop. It was just a flag break with the high of day above as another potential catalyst. And this thing, it ended up going to 1075, so a $1.98 move on 27 cents risk. You can see I made a few bucks on that one too. This one, if you go back to the daily, you've got a nice solid green candle again in an ugly tape. So we're going to watch that for a follow-through day tomorrow, preferably with a low-risk setup. And then finally, FCSC had this pop, and now you're kind of flagging sideways. So any strength in the market, maybe this gives us a little flag break. Man, that's more than I'm comfortable watching, and you consider we're going to add gappers to this in the morning in the pre-market. So we're going to have plenty to watch tomorrow. That's really all I've got. Check below this video to get that link for our free webinars. There's a lot of, at least in my opinion, a lot of good stuff about trading and free information. We also have a link for chat room deal. I think it's still, June isn't over yet, still 5 years for the price of 1 year. And we're not like other rooms, so really it's a good time to take advantage of that. And then lastly, trade ideas. There's a link below for the trade ideas. Sign up for their trade of the week and help you get familiar with their awesome scanning tool, which personally I wouldn't trade without. I'm done babbling, I swear. See you tomorrow.